there's so much stuff going on in this world, in this country nowadays, and there's lots of great people in it, but there's lots of other people that ain't so great. And at the same time, I notice a lot of Cowboys, it seems like, because I'm around them the most, other Cowboys, it seems like Cowboys always kind of got a love for, they got a love for God, for one, and they love this country, and they love leaving places, better than when they got there. And I kind of take it as a responsibility, to have an impact on other Cowboys. And I'm not perfect, man. I'll tell you what, you looking for a saint, don't look at me, I can tell you. But at the same time, you grow up and you mature and you change your lives, and you just do better, and you try to make other people do the same and be an influence. You can't hold a gun to them and make them do right, but at the same time, you can be a big enough positive influence and show them what the Lord's done for me. Man, I've had great childhood and had a great dad and a great grandfather and a lot of great men in my life. And I look out there today as I travel this country, and I go all over the country putting on horse clinics and filming and outreaches and doing public speaking. And I realize how many kids out there that, need a father influence. Not saying there's a lot that don't need a mother, but at the same time, I'm a father and I'm a man, so I take it upon myself to handle my area. And that's what I feel like is being a father and being a man figure. And as I go around traveling, I see this need, and I see a need for a man, for a kid, for somebody to change a tire, somebody to paint a house, somebody to do the right thing, somebody to add some discipline. And the man in the house is the one that needs to be the one that disciplines the child, and there needs to be discipline. And with all that said, I just see a hunger for that, and I see a hunger for kids. And a lot of people I see, like even my son, I appreciate the discipline I got as a child, even though I didn't like it then. And I know one day Matthew will turn around and do the same thing. And it's so funny, my granddaddy, I can think of one time he spanked me with an old shoe. And when he done that, I respected that man for anything, but he never had to spank me except for one time. And it wasn't even a big one. It really wasn't like, he didn't just come down on me hard. He just gave me a couple pops. That's the only time I can ever remember it. But I respected that man with everything because he treated me right. He was stern, and he didn't take nothing off of me. And I was like, all right, that's my man, And then I had other people that, you as your kid, you can learn who you can get by with stuff with and who you can't. But, I see a hunger for that. I see a hunger for a male influence in a lot of folks' lives. And I believe if they didn't have that, if they had more of that, we wouldn't have as many problems. I have a cattle drive right here in Sampson, Alabama, and it'd be like November 6th through the 10th, and folks will come down, stay the night, we'll camp out, we'll get up early that morning, haul to a place, drive cattle, or gather cattle, and start out a cattle drive, and they'll be fresh. We'll put the dogs on them, break them down, cattle will break, we'll dog them just like I would everyday real life, and we'll peel out and we'll go across the country and probably drive 10, 12 miles a day and come back to camp and then do it the same way the next morning. And then this year we're kind of doing a little bit more of an event. We're going to have some bronc riding and some stuff there at the campsite for entertainment. And then the last day we take the cattle and we drive them to town. We'll stop, have our wagon there, we'll eat our lunch, and then we go on to town and have a parade around 2 o'clock right through the middle of town. And last year when we done it, the path we took, there was one turn right before we hit right there at Main Street where we was going to cross. And when I turned, we did very little advertisement. I didn't want a big crowd. I just wanted it to go very smooth. And we looked, and there was people lined up. And it was pretty amazing to see how many people wanted to come see these cattle come through town and see. And there's so many kids there to see what was going on and be a part of it. And so many kids there never, even as rural as we are around here, is they don't get to see cattle. They don't get to interact with cattle and horses. And when they come through town, they realize being a cowboy is cool. And, if that can light a spark and a couple little old kids to want to buy a horse one day and keep our industry going, then it's all worth it. They want cattle after that. Kids say, I want a horse, Daddy. I want a horse, Mom. Or kids come up to me and say, hey, Booger, you mind if we bring our kid to your place and ride or something in the future? And that's kind of what it's all about. Keep this tradition alive.